And gentlemen, oh my God. This is another quarantine episode, and I feel like Obama right now. I gotta take roll my sleeves up real quick, and we gotta get in tonight.
Yes, we do. Like Obama.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Very successful. That's what he
you are watching the quarantine live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world, and I can take a deep breath now. I feel like my birthday weekend has continued into a whole nother weekend.
It was a birthday week.
For you all that didn't know, I did just change another age. Sunday, I'm 39 now. It's a blessing to still be here. Through it all, God woke me up for 39 straight years, and I think about 4 or 5 days now. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm still here. You know, I'm swag surfing right now. I can't exactly tell you why. Yeah, I can. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, San Bernardino Park Association had a one-on-one commissioner forum between me and the Honorable Irma Clark Coleman, who's the commissioner right now. And let's just say there's clear distinctions in between the two ideologies. Let's just say your future is now. Let's just say if you want to make change, you should be that change. And ladies and gentlemen, I am him. First off, I'm sorry, I'm so messed up. Like, damn, I got to introduce them. Okay, wait a minute. I want to introduce the lovely ladies that helped support me, who was there the entire night with me, who are still here, which means they met my marathon people. Introduce yourselves.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rosalind M. Ogburn, and it is a privilege to be with you this Friday evening. And I'll pass it off to the magnificent and gorgeous
Henrietta Ivy. I am here, part of the team Otis, and I am your home care advocate, activist, and community organizer. Welcome to tonight's show, The Quarantine. We got a great show for you guys tonight.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, with that being said, man, again, I just, I thank God for life. This is a very interesting day for me. I woke up feeling like I was getting ready for a football game, and I've been on jitter mode all day long. Like, I've been calling people, like, help me calm down. It's just a debate. I want to go through a wall. It's things that I shouldn't be wanting to do right now, and it's just a doggone. But when you have that kind of energy,
yes,
when you want to bring that to the people that you want to serve, when you feel like there's a lot of people that aren't represented,
absolutely,
you have to bring all that passion, that fire, that enthusiasm to the table. And I got a background voice in me. That's how good I'm feeling. His voice is around me speaking for me.
Yeah, but I've lifted it.
I want to be, man, I don't think you all understand how great it is to feel like you're on the cusp of greatness. The question was asked, what will be my legacy? Hell, I haven't even started. My legacy has not even started yet. And that's the beautiful thing about 2022. I'm being offered with the opportunity to make some change. I'm offered with the opportunity to swag surf at the table if I want to. You know what I'm saying? This is a very exciting time. And anybody that's alive in 2022, you just clap your hands for God. Clap your hands for still being here. I mean, it's been a long time. I'm doing myself.
Absolutely.
With that being said, again, wow. Tonight was interesting. It was fun. And ladies and gentlemen, I ain't got nothing to say. My mama calling me and she know I got a show tonight, but I know she full of enthusiasm and I gotta unbutton this top button because
let your neck breathe.
Yeah, because whoo, Jesus. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I am burning up over here and everything is starting to get hot. But I'm gonna pass this over to
Big Wild Report.
Hello, everyone. You know I got to get a shout out to our Facebook fans. Hit that fan right behind you. Remember, this fan ain't on.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. So we went, the summer has shifted and it got a little warm. See, I was ready for it. See, I saw him on the Zoom call like he looking good in that suit. But you know what? That suit, Not sure if the air was on, ladies and gentlemen. So just give us a couple seconds till we get a little
Well,
back.
we gonna be good.
But I just say thank you for those that tune in. I got to give a shout out for Miss Brenda Thompson. Hello, Miss Thompson. Thank you for joining us every Friday evenings online and then on our other social media platforms, Twitch, and also YouTube and Twitter. And then Miss Tanisha Sanders, thank you for tuning in. And she is also part of the members
Yes,
of
she
Be the
is.
Change
Yes.
with
Yes.
our amazing Andreas
Yes,
Otis.
yes.
So I had to give a shout out. But I'm part of the Roslyn Report this evening. I want to it's what we call a belated shout out for
Yes.
last Friday. We came in so on point, so excited,
Mhm.
but we forgot to give the shout out to LGBT Detroit for
Yes,
the event
yes,
that was hosted last Friday evening, uplifting the candidates
Mhm.
and giving an opportunity to just discuss who they are and then leaving a video about
Mhm.
how they would like to support and their
Mhm.
platform towards LGBT Detroit, right? And so I want to give an additional shout out to Miss Tashana Gill
Mhm.
for supporting that, and Mr. Curtis Lipcomb. If I'm
Okay.
saying it right,
Yeah,
Lipcomb. People know me, know that I have a problem saying people's names.
You did good. You did good.
So I always ask for assistance for that correction. So I just want to give a shout out to that also. But then there is another campaign that we all know that within the last 2 weeks that more individuals, preferably women, have been brought to the forefront and saying, we need you to get engaged. We need your voice heard, right? So we know the Roe versus Wade situation has been very prevalent. I have actually been kept silent because, you know, there are other things that have been shifting, which we're going to talk about that a little later. But what I had to say is that as a mother of 5 and as one that as women we grow, we have our own experiences, right? But what we have to do, we have to stand up right now.
That's right.
We can no longer continually be silent. We all have our own experiences, but right now we know we said it's a different temperature in the air.
Yes,
and we feel like this is just one of many of these rules that they would try to dictate and regulate concerning our bodies. We know the conversation previously was the vaccinations. Right? Should we have control of our bodies, especially if we felt we were in fear or had health hazards concerning these shots, right? So I pivoted back to right now. It's time for us to get engaged.
Yes.
It's time for us to say, hold on, who are the organizations that are really saying, we need you to speak up? We want to have a conversation with you. Whether you had been put in a situation that you might needed an abortion and it was not available to you, or that you had a scary situation health-wise, and it was your only option for survival, right? And so I just want to lift up the super majority, right now has what we say protecting towards our productive human rights. And next Friday, they're having an upcoming event. We want to make sure everybody get engaged. I'm going to drop it up on our link. But what we want to say right now, there are other organizations. A lot of people know just about Planned Parenthood, right? Or the other one talking about, pro-choice. That's really all a lot of our Black communities hear of. Exactly. But now, super majority is a new organization that may not, let's say, new to, you know, in general by age-wise, but new to some of our Black communities. So we want to be intentional to lift up those orgs that's doing the work and those that are saying we want to make sure women's rights are being heard. And so we do have a caller that just tapped in. Hello, caller. What is your name?
Yes, this is Danielle C. Hall, and I am running for State Rep Seat 6. And I just wanted to, number one, we was talking about womanhood and things of that nature, but I wanted to pivot and take it to a whole different level, if you would. What I just saw on a private Zoom meeting and a non-exemplary woman. And I think that as women, we nurture. As women, we try to come up with another way of doing things or a way to usher change in. And I just wanted to tell Dre he handled himself with the most class and the most dignity. I know your ancestors was proud of you because the woman you were speaking to, that's not what women do. But back to the subject at hand when it comes to childbearing laws and women's rights laws. I think that it's horrible when a man could tell or try to tell a woman or even talk about anything that a woman has to do in terms of her body, all the way down from her boobs to her underwear. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Our rights as women are sacred,
Mm-hmm.
but it's an inevitable responsibility that no man will ever have. If you
Absolutely.
understand what I'm saying.
Yes. Thank you,
And
Danielle, for
regardless,
calling in.
no
Thank you so
problem.
much
But
for that.
yeah,
Absolutely.
We
but
appreciate the comments.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. That's why it's time for us women to
Yeah.
stand up, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to keep it real. Miss Thompson is on the call. When this first leaked out, she said, oh, it should be some man at night. They shouldn't be getting nothing. Because how dare you
Absolutely.
start talking about
Yeah.
our bodies
Right.
and thinking you're going to dictate and regulate
Regulated.
our lives, right?
Right.
Because at one hand, it is our choice,
It is our choice.
right? And then on the other hand, there are medical issues that women deal with.
And mental issues and tragedy
That's
that
it.
could come out of a unwanted pregnancy. So
There you go.
To take away the rights to determine what you want to do and say you to take it to a level of you're going to keep it.
Come on.
That's cutting off life, you know. And I don't think a man have a right to tell a woman to do with her uterus.
That's it.
And if you got women standing for that, then maybe you're not really a woman. You might just be something.
See, and that's
extraterrestrial.
And there we go. And we know there are crowds that are speaking that we should not have the right to be able to dictate in how we feel concerning our future and our situations. And as we pivot, I can say I uplifted that. I'm going to put in the link the Pacific organization and the work that they're doing so everybody can be more engaged, right? But I also want to just bring the elephant in the room. I actually want to go there, but Mrs. Danielle talked about that. I'm getting ready to transition back over to Dre. But those that have been violated, right? Right now, sex trafficking, rape, and we're going to just
incest.
say, you just took it right out of my mouth. And incest, being violated in your own home. These things are occurring. And once they are exposed and uplifted, the person should have a choice. That may not be their choice, but they should have the option to choose from. So I just want to bring that to the table and uplift it. So thank you, Danielle, for being up to iterate that at a higher level so that we can take that deep dive. And then for the last piece, I just wanted to say, I want to uplift Mr. Bishop Herman Starks for the Good Time Bill Initiative, everyone. June 1st is the last day for the petition to be turned in. I'm going to drop into his link, contact number, and for the page that you guys can sign up. The Good Time Initiative is specifically towards inmates or individuals that are incarcerated or in the correction facilities that need policies to pertain to adding towards those good days so they can reduce their sentences, along with resources so they stabilize them as they're returning home. So we have to come and make a plan, ladies and gentlemen. We can't think that the individuals come into the communities and want to return without a stabilizing plan. We have to stop the revolving door for these individuals, right? And let them know they love and let them know that they're supportive. So Mr. Bishop Herman Starks with the Good Time Initiative. I'm dropping into the link. Thank you very much for the Roslyn report. I know it went a little lengthy, but thank you, Dre, for your patience. I'll pass it back to you.
No, I really, Danielle kind of threw me off.
So let's go into where she went into a little bit about the previous, meeting we just had a privilege to be a part of.
Exactly.
That was a great debate.
It was a great debate. Him getting all emotional.
She said something that kind of got me like this. I haven't always been the most politically inclined person. The not always straight going type of person.
You know, I've had my issues, and to be able to have a debate that we had tonight, to know that I have people that passed before me looking down, and I really hope that I made them proud tonight. Um, not just them, but anybody I know, anybody I represent, anybody I care about, because that's what it is. Um, I didn't come to this thing with a silver spoon. I'm not the most financially privileged because shit, I ain't working right now. I'm running the campaign. Um, but to be able to feel like I'm on the brink of doing something that I couldn't even imagine several years ago, I'm blessed. Um, so you all have to excuse me for this moment. She should have called and brought up my ancestors, but I know they're looking down.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
From my grandma's to my auntie Ann,
Mhm.
Art Vitamin, Ray Solomon, even James Wells, who used to work for Commissioner of Clark County. These are all people who I've had in my life who've been able to give me something, and I just want to make sure that they know that I'm moving forward and I'm doing it for the right reasons, and I'd be damned if I let them down.
Yes.
So with that being said,
That being said,
I'm back to regular now, so don't nobody call with no BS. You are watching the Quarantine live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.
Yes.
You can give us a call at 313-355-6018. And all right, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
All right.
So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we are brinking on DPS weekend.
Dun, 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 dun.
And there's some conversations out there about DPS weekend. My conversation is, it's taking this damn long. You have a bunch of great people who have graduated from Detroit Public Schools over the years. And now we're putting something like this together, which is just, I get it, but now, there's a lot of people that had money that ain't came back here. There's people that got money right now who's not giving anything to their alma mater and all that kind of stuff. So, what exactly is this weekend supposed to bring? Will it bring more resources to the schools? Because I just found out, you told me about something. They about to rebuild Persia, but damn, it's only 600 kids in there.
That's it. Yeah, we don't have 100,000 children in our
kids.
That's
when that happened.
Yeah.
There was freshman classes years ago with 600 kids.
Right.
When I graduated from Persian, it was 3,000 kids in the building.
See what I'm saying?
Wow. What? Okay.
So what is going
on? Yeah.
To where
they get money for marketing, they get money for advertising. Who's not recruiting?
That's what I want to know.
Right.
Because that's a job.
Yeah.
That's a whole job for somebody. Recruit
600 kids.
600 kids in the school. The whole 3,000.
And it's like, again, where is the alumni?
That's it.
This should have took special alumni weekend.
And then this
millionaires
is
that
merged.
left some of these schools.
And then this is merged of all the DPS high schools too.
And again, why wasn't this thing breaking out to have events in some of these high schools?
That's it.
That's it.
Why do we always got to go downtown? I'm glad you brought that to my attention because it took me several days to deep dive into that. Like, wait a minute. And again, I have to tell y'all, I didn't get my hair cut. And I'm
He got his
saying
Jerry
the
curl
bald
today.
spot. The bald spot is showing. But guess what, man? I'm getting a couple
It's
pounds.
not
Hey,
showing. You
Nobody
fine.
even noticed.
Nobody even noticed it,
Y'all
right?
be lying, man. But anyway, Mr. Bald,
You never call
we got a
her.
caller.
Got a caller coming in.
Let you know your
We
hair is
got a
fine.
caller.
You're fine.
Yes, caller.
It's me again. And
Who's
let
me
me
again?
tell you why this is a
I've
shock.
been, yeah, I don't know.
Who is me
Because-
again?
I'm not going to, this is Danielle.
Tell them what you're running for.
I'm running for state rep seat 6. Let me just tell you,
Uh-huh.
maybe last year I was trying to tell people kids are not going to school. Kids are not coming to school. And when you're talking about the alumni in Detroit public schools, they get their money and they go outside of Detroit. They don't come
Bingo.
back to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a problem, okay? And now what you're seeing is a lack of participation.
Mm-hmm.
Parents are not being responsible for their kids, being held responsible when their kids don't go to school, or even to find out where their children are while they're skipping. It is so significant of a difference from when we grew up in Detroit public school. Okay?
That's it.
We have kids missing 100 to 150 days out of the school year. And they just pop up on the last day. Can I get a lunch? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well,
we have to
I would
be-
definitely say she knows because that's what she does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she
Yeah.
an
We
expert.
have to definitely just know this. And it would help if alumni that is in Detroit could take a day off just to come and volunteer at their local school.
Now look at the impact that would make,
Wow,
right?
yes.
For everyone to come back and do a rotation of volunteer service. I literally said that earlier today because that's how you see the need.
That's how you see
That's
the
how
need.
you see the deficit, right?
Right.
And Danielle, can you just give give us a little bit of the input of the work that you actually do to see and be able to observe this when we see these barrier obstacles that exist in our school systems?
Well, number one, I'm a caseworker for the Department of Health and Human Services.
Okay.
And I'm a caseworker that's stationed in the school. So I deal with the attendance agents and truancy. And I am there as a resource for parents who are having or experience, what are they called? Start with a B, barriers.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I find the resources for the parent. In most cases, it's just as simple as your food stamps being turned on. You get what I'm saying? In some cases, it's cash assistance. What people don't know is cash assistance. If your children do not attend school, then their cash assistance could be the family cash assistance could be interrupted. So
Yes. Mm-hmm.
depending
Being
on
penalized
the
for your children not
and they can
being,
be penalized
Mhm.
21 days of non-school participation. That's
Now-
a penalty.
Now I have a question.
So,
Now back in the day, they had the truant officer, right? And then they also had the social worker. If, like you said, there's so many days missing, they did. We call it wellness checks now, but they just did a home check. Do they still have that exists?
not as a policy, probably on the DPS side, not on the state side. Although I did do wellness checks. You know, my clients didn't realize that's what I was doing. But if, like, especially during the pandemic, during lockdown, if I didn't hear the kids screaming in the background, I brought a food basket to the house and knocked on the door because I just want to see that the children are okay.
Absolutely.
We don't need another situation like Freezer Mom. You know what I'm saying? Where nobody heard the kids, nobody saw the kids, but yet you want to come down on the state workers because this woman went berserk and nobody supported her.
Absolutely. And that bring that back into the mental health services, right? And for the parents.
Correct.
So
Thank you for calling in, man. You're going to have to come in here one night.
Yes.
Be calling, talking on it, man. Come
absolutely.
in.
Yes. Thank you,
Yeah,
Danielle, for
Y'all gotta
calling.
invite me.
Great
All righty,
points.
I love you.
All right,
Yes,
too.
love you. And then, but right there, I wanted to highlight. First of all, we got Miss Thompson. She was saying when you break up the communities, this is what it looks like, right? The schools is gone because when you you shifted the economy, bringing in. We know we have charter schools, right? We say the school of choice or options, but then we don't bring the larger capacity of what the big school offers, right? So the big school offers, we know the IEP. Which, if there is a deficit, like my children, 2 of them had actually needed speech therapy, right? And then one of my children, when me and my husband separated, he needed some additional therapy. The principal saw that, like, what's going on at home?
Right.
But if the schools don't have those resources that they can have access to get those dollars, and then also I'm gonna say the extracurricular activities like the sports,
All that it holds so much more for children to do as opposed to
there you go, to be able to spread them out.
Exactly.
Buses come from everywhere and pick your kids up and transport them out. But go ahead.
I went to Hutchins Middle School over on Hazelwood. What up, though? We had MBD inside the school.
Look at there. Look at
and
there.
Henry Ford.
Look at them.
So not only did we learn banking and stuff like that, of course, over the years.
Yes, bringing these entities within the system.
But we had that inside the school. We had a health clinic inside the school from Henry Ford.
So I mean, you had a nurse.
School nurses. That was real.
It was real.
It wasn't nothing you just saw in the cartoon.
Right.
The resources were there.
That's it.
So again, what is going on in 2022? Well, you got people like Betsy DeVos, who's tricking people with this "let my kids learn" crap.
Right.
That's it.
With these ballot initiatives to get all this money.
And I'm reading this like, what is this? That's it right there, taking dollars. And in some schools it'll be smaller amount, but some schools it'll be a large amount of them dollars being allocated from out those classrooms.
Right.
Now just imagine if you had wood shop back in middle school.
Come on.
If you had home ec back
That's
in middle
it.
school.
That's it. We preparing the cookers. I mean,
had
look,
them
our
back
our culinary careers, our carpenters, right?
Our culinaries.
There you go. Our metal, what we said, you know, the architects, yes, construction workers, all of that.
You didn't have to wait to high school to get that.
You sure did.
I learned how to make a paddle at 20.
That's it. In middle school, 7th grade, 7th and 8th grade, you were in those wood shops. You end up making your own little keychain. You had your little ring.
A little board you want to hang on the kitchen wall to say something nice.
Absolutely.
About mama, grandma. It was always those resources.
So like you're saying, using the skills of that child and letting them expound on who they are, seeing what the talents that's within them.
A conversation I had earlier. We were lied to and talked too long. We were told the way to get over was to go to college, to do this, to go get loans and all that crap. Not realizing that the damn plumbers and the carpenters was making the money.
Yeah.
Yes, our trade workers. Yeah, absolutely.
But they didn't tell us that. They go to school. Everybody was not 4-year college people.
Absolutely.
That's true.
Now,
so why would
right
you?
There. No, right there. A third. So you say out of 100, you break down that 100, right? You break into a third. Still got a little percentage on the side, but this basic third of our population, our trade workers. Artists. That's still the individual that can have the ability to imagine and dream and create. Right? So when we have no longer made a space for children to be children, to be able to imagine, to be able to appreciate childhood and the spaces that are around you. Remember we used to say, give them a box.
Yep. And then
you made that box do everything.
You created all kind of stuff with it.
That was a car, space, everything.
It was a robot. All that.
Everything. So, but what we going back to something from nothing to a higher space of that education, right?
Yeah.
Because it was available and made to us. And where I feel like now where the conversation, like you just saying, has to be uplifted up.
Yeah.
High capacity.
Very high.
Because if we don't be intentional about the educational format in our communities and we allow them to extract the schools, when you go to buy a home, there are certain things that you look for in your communities. And the school is one of them.
Yep.
But see, now that you just said that.
Definitely.
And we're going to get back to this education piece because I'm still kind of shaking up that alumni weekend has come. and we didn't see a bunch of press releases that all these rich dummies was coming back to give money to these schools. Don't come back to party and dance and leave. Cut the check.
Cut the
Cut
check.
the check.
These kids need
Cut
the check.
the check.
They need your money.
Yes.
Not your
Check.
damn picture.
And
That's
your
it.
involvement. Let's even put that in there.
That's it.
I mean, what was the purpose of coming back? Just to show off what you have accomplished?
Now,
And this is my
It don't-
alumni, and you forgot about the children. You came to show off your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
didn't
it.
come to encourage the kids of what I come from. This could be you. And like Dre said, cut the check.
cut the check.
You came to get artists for where you at now.
Now, see, and this is where, to me, I hope some of our alumni are listening. I come from Persian, class of 94, woo woo, doughboy, dough girl. And like we're saying, we know we have these alumni and these annuals or the 20, 30, 40-year acknowledgement of the schools you come from.
Mhm.
When we go into some of our other communities, counterparts, they come back in their edifices and they look like museums.
Mhm.
They're kept at a high level,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
Pristine.
Mhm.
So I want to say something
Right.
real quick.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I need this. I just turned 39, and my bladder is showing me I just got a year later. So
Oh,
I've been taking water since 6 o'clock.
He's claiming old man ship.
so he said, "Excuse me." That's what that was.
He did the finger.
Yes, he
walked
did
up.
the finger.
He did the finger.
But no, till he comes back,
Right.
just going to the point of other communities and
Mhm.
how their schools are still at such a immaculate level. And I
Let's
just
talk
want to
about
say
it.
that while we have them in the city,
Yeah. Mhm.
in that room, that I hope
Mhm.
the conversation comes up of right now what DPS is going through.
Right.
That's where I want to go.
Right.
Because what we're saying is, less than a month ago, Dr. Vitti has stated that they
Mhm.
were up for new renovations of the schools.
Right.
Well,
Yep.
no, let's say that. Tear downs. I wanted a renovation. Let me just read that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
But remember, they was asking,
Yeah,
what
they
should be a
were asking for
renovation or
should
tear
be
down?
downs,
But
right.
the option really was put on the table was total tear down.
Yeah,
They
it
wanted
was.
to, and we were saying, individuals that like, oh, I want to keep my school. Why didn't you do us a walkthrough of the structure of what the decapitated levels of the school? Because
Right.
when we walked up school, they looked that bad.
Right.
We
right.
were in the auditorium. You might have saw a little plaster
Yeah,
stuff,
right. Some
but
paint,
from there,
right.
it did not say tear us down.
Right.
Especially when we know they're not building buildings in the same level with the same structure.
Right.
We are looking at some of these buildings are almost 100 to almost 150 years old.
Right.
DPS is 187 years old, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
So when we say that, this is over a centennial institution.
Okay.
We know it needs to be better.
Mhm.
But what are we doing?
Mhm.
Like we saying, I even said, so for those that didn't know, I started participating as an organizer, following my children into the schools. Right? I saw where the deficit and the barriers were.
Okay.
Like, okay, yeah, I need to keep going to the trips because kids don't be having enough snacks.
Right. See.
So that was it. I started up showing up
Right.
as a snack lady.
Right.
I make sure my baby got snacks, and anybody
Anybody
need a
else-
little extra snacks, we gonna
But
hook
see,
you
that's
up.
what
I
was-
got
that's
you.
that involvement that you did as a parent. I did as a parent. I saw coming up in my schooling years, but there was resources for that because there was
Y'all doing an interview?
because the school would participate in parents
Mm-hmm.
who wanted to be involved and volunteer, so they would allocate some type of financial resources.
There we go.
And then the fact that they're helping you help them monitor these kids and make every child feel included.
Absolutely.
So we talk about tearing down the school that can be utilized. The whole idea is to just tear it down. If they say they give you an option, but you really don't have an option. They've already finalized what they're going to do.
and stated
anyway.
what their main
Yeah.
goal is.
Did you bring up the schools that was torn down that had driver's ed that's no longer around yet?
No, so we were hovering over the conversation of the schools being torn down, but not the real high priority of just being
Mhm.
renovated
Mhm.
to maintain the history. And what we say are nostalgic because
Mhm.
even though you renovate, it's not the same school.
Right.
Didn't you mention
I
that
went
about
to
Mumford?
The Blue House.
Right.
You knew when you drove down Wyoming.
That was
big
Mumford.
Blue building.
Kettering the same
Was
way. You
Mumford.
saw the
Big
big
K.
K.
They got the audacity for the damn
Keep the
factory
K.
over there. Kept
The
the
code.
K.
I know. I saw that. I was like, wow.
How
really?
much of a in your face is that? Oh man, that's my old K.
My
You
old
can't say
K.
that's my
Yeah.
old school.
You
That's
can't.
my okay.
Nope.
That's true.
Nope.
My mother went to Kettering, y'all.
See?
Oh, that's the school she was. I'm sorry, Mama. Yeah,
That's her school.
Yeah, they
And-
took that
And
out
then the
of there.
hub
Yeah,
over
yeah.
there,
Yeah.
Kettering, where she was lifting up to me, was a vocational,
It
was.
technical school.
It was.
It was focused
Football
on
stuff.
business.
Yep.
It was focused on certain skill sets that
Yep.
they specifically and had a
I think
core
it may have been a
focus.
science or a medical. I'm not sure, but I'm sure there was a small sector there.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, so what we're saying is, when we look at Davidson, right,
Mhm.
we should be doing hell and high water to make sure specific dollars stay and maintain towards Davidson Aerospace, right?
Right.
A school
God.
in our community that is teaching you to fly planes, right?
Ooh,
My cousin graduated
come
from there,
on.
love
right?
it,
So
man.
I should have went there when I'm thinking about it,
Me
right?
too, me too. I
So
should've
when you
went there.
think about these schools, these are jewels.
Mhm.
Yes.
But what are we
Yes.
doing to say, hold on, when are we gonna do a fun? Let's show up an event. Let's volunteer. Let's contribute and pay back to them.
That part.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Quarantine live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching WJZZ Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. You can also give a call at 313-355-6018. Why did they take driver's ed out of the school?
Yes, that one.
I am
I took
still
mine
stuck
on
on
Denby.
this.
Well, they
at
took
Denby.
funding, and once funding started, they had to cut programs. They thought there wasn't curriculum enough,
Are
and
you
driver's
kidding me?
ed was not a curriculum. It was like
But it was
it was a resource. I get that, but when they cut the funding, driver's ed, art programs, music
All of that
programs,
went.
gym programs went. Where it's like those were the things kids need to stay out of trouble.
That's
They
it.
need to put that focus there. Basketball programs,
And then the driver's
driver's training,
like you said, getting driver training got your license, and your
Yeah.
license got you the car, and the
Right.
car
And
got
it
you to work.
and then it just built you up.
We
up,
love
up.
driving
So,
hoop. I got a car. I don't
I
care
don't
how
care
bad
what
it
was.
is.
You would.
I got
It
a
could
car.
be smoke coming from the tailpipe. It
Come
didn't
on,
matter.
that's it.
But
That's it.
it was that encouragement of knowing you accomplished something. You know, a 15-year-old said, "I have a license." That's an accomplishment.
That's it. That's
And
it.
that builds on that accomplishment. So when you pull those needed resources from these schools and then try to replace them with the charter schools who don't offer any of that,
Absolutely.
like
Just cut
but
down
then you go
all
to
the
suburban
extracurricular
schools, they
activities.
still got all that.
You know,
That's it. They look stronger
Stronger.
Yeah.
while we keep taking away and making our schools have deficits.
Bing,
Yeah.
2022, and there's elections with money going over to these other counties that
Ah.
won't be staying in Detroit. But I'll get there in a second. But it makes
It
sense.
makes
Yeah.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
You spoke about bands and things like that.
Mhm.
There was a point in time where we had middle schools here that had bands that were showing up to the
Mhm.
Thanksgiving.
Oh,
Day parade.
absolutely.
Spain, Pelham,
Rudderman.
Rudderman. Yeah.
Detroit
I don't
art
even
and
think two of them
science.
are even there no more.
Rudderman is
DSA.
good.
That's the one off the freeway, correct?
Yes,
Mhm.
gutted.
And
The
it's
one
a
off of
resource.
Shane and
Yeah.
94 that
Yep.
DSA.
Yep.
They had the big
They
band.
had the big band.
Yep.
In the Thanksgiving Day parade, how many
The junior
12-year-olds went to high schools
Mhm.
but disappeared through the system, leaving the
Mhm.
city?
bands.
That's it, because they had to go to other schools that was able to accommodate the activities
Exactly.
and extracurriculum, and their parents had the economics to transport.
Absolutely.
So, and that's what we're saying,
Yeah.
that we have to pay more attention to what
Mhm.
the structure looks like, and like you're saying, and demanded the funding to stay down here.
How
all
do,
right.
let me ask this question.
Go
I know you
ahead.
got that move on. How do you
We on this all night.
oh, okay. I'm up on it, but I want to kind of ask the question: how do we as or parents allocate or not allocate, but advocate for these resources to return back to their schools?
First off, elect people on the school boards that actually need to be there.
Okay.
Again,
Are gonna work for
we
us.
are Detroit, where name recognition matters. Not who's going to go out there and bust their behind on your behalf. Not who's going to lose sleep on your behalf.
Mhm.
Just the fact that a person has a name.
Mhm.
Now here we have people on the school board who's running for higher seats. I have no problem with that.
Mhm.
But did you do that job?
Mhm.
Have the resources came back?
Mm.
Mhm.
So before you think about elevating, you're supposed to be taking care of the future.
Mhm.
Children.
Mhm.
Get that done first.
That's it right there. Now I just want to hover. Were y'all aware of the Miss Weaver's role? I was
I saw that.
that was new to me. So our Karen Weaver, our former
Yeah,
charter,
that was Karen Reed.
that was new to
Oh,
me.
she's
yeah.
been there.
Oh, has she?
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
I wasn't aware of that.
She is part of the DPS
Yes,
ESD.
Yeah.
I think
She's
over
coordinating.
recruitment.
And she
Recruitment is community and recruitment. I think
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so that was very interesting to see
Very.
that she is in the school board. So what we're saying is we got to be educated too of who the roles are, right?
So let me ask this question: is she a former educator, or was she appointed this seat? That's another problem that I have.
That's
If
it.
you're appointing people based again on name and not on skill and know-how, what will she bring to the DPS school system for these students if she's not a former educator? I don't know what her background is, but if she's just sitting in that position, in that role, shouldn't there have been some form of education, or a principal somewhere, or a teacher somewhere, or a counselor?
Yes.
Something to say, I understand children, as opposed to just coming in and getting the glory and then try to throw away in meetings and talk about all the stuff you want to do now. But what do you really know
There
about
you go. And your contribution to make our school system stronger.
Exactly.
And I'm not going to answer that because I know you hit the county commissioner, and I thought she was part of the Wayne County Sheriffs. That's what I thought last.
Yeah.
That's what I thought that was last. All right, let me do a shout out. All right, I got Brenda Thompson. All right.
I thought she was part of their their workforce.
On that end.
Yeah, she was on that end. That's what I thought.
I'm about to go up under this table. I'll talk to y'all next week.
Yeah. All right, Miss Thompson said, okay, those programs build better schools. Sister Ethel Kennedy said that's why we need mentors to fill in the gap where our children. We got a little. Our children are falling through. If we don't support our children, then I think they say who will. Here we go. Who will have to step up and then fill into those gaps? And so we that don't lose our children. Thank God. Sorry, y'all. I went up to the school. What did they say?
She went to school in the South.
Thank you. I'm sorry. The white start blending in with my outfit. He got a black background.
Alex
I want her to call in and tell me how that experience with school in the South was. I thought it would have been worse in the South.
No, I hear some of the schools in the South, when, of course, we're coming out of the Jim Crow seasons, right? We're very strong.
Really?
They were community driven, right? And they had a core format that you came out as the best.
That's right.
Because you had to be, right? To even be in the room.
Yeah.
Right? So, and that's the thing. Thank you, Sister Kennedy, for even uplifting that mentality. As my mother always say from that generation, that to be able to compete. We say even saying to be elected. Right. To say you even have the audacity to show up and say you're going to reach for a role where someone that doesn't look like you may have seated that role and you've never have even accomplished and made that precedent yet, right? So what that means, you got to have just as many letters behind your name as the person you're trying to replace. So what we're saying now is that we don't want to bring that bar down. We still want to say we want to be the best, but the reality is no one's perfect. Right? And even when we try to be the best, we have examples that they didn't shut down the best.
Exactly. On purpose.
So I think now where we're saying to our youth is we don't want to bring in the discouragement. We want to maintain the hope. But what we're saying is we should still be able to pivot and give different options because everybody's like different. And then like we're saying with the mental health options and situations. And that's that's what I was about to say is that what we have to understand is when we came and tapped on the home scenario, when individuals may be being molested by mama boyfriend, right? Or even grandpa. All right, because he was messing with the auntie and the sisters and all them, and then nobody want to say nothing.
So now just trickling down.
There we go.
That mental health right there.
Somebody said something
Generational mental health.
That's it.
In this zone, in our forum, in our debate, had the audacity to make a statement about, well, I keep hearing you talk about mental health. Well, don't you know that when people get out of jail, they get resources before they leave? Wait a minute. Let me stop you right there. Sir, buddy, pal, friend, who I've had to get up in his gut, in his chest like swine flu twice in the last week. Don't you ever disrespect the fact that mental health is real. The fact that you have the audacity to make it seem like it stopped because you get out of jail, who are you? Are you not paying attention to what's going on around you? Are you that dumb for somebody to be in a seat that you had the audacity to say something so ignorant? Who? Y'all do your thing.
And but to even just hover there, for those that were on the call when the gentleman made the reference that when you go to jail, there's still access to a
Ask them
therapist,
guys
right?
that got out of jail what's going on with their mental
Thank you.
resources.
Right.
Now,
And the women that done got out. Ask the ones that's on my staff right now
No.
who are former inmates that's getting paid right now just getting out.
this is where I want to hover over.
Mm-hmm.
Who doing that?
Hold on, wait a minute, this is what I want to hover over, because we have discussed what you calling it mental health. I'm calling it a holistic. Remember, we said holistic treatment.
Oh.
I know. I heard. I know. We're gonna talk about we got 5
Look
minutes.
me in.
No, real quick, fast to it.
Oh.
So, what did I call it? Holistic treatment, like dealing with the mind, body, and soul. Now, when you get locked up, if somebody get arrested from going being booty butt naked in the middle of the street,
Right.
and they got a knife in their hand, the police come out, they lock them up.
Right.
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 You do a psych or a mental on them. Right. Here we go. Let's keep it real. After they do their real assessment, they give you assessment. They register where you supposed to go, give your meds and where the address at.
Right.
They release you
This way, send you right back out
to the same place that they found you and pulled up at you when you booty butt naked with the knife.
and they send you right back.
Because that was the address that you lived at.
Again, mental health resources are much
so what
needed.
I wanted to double back on that statement, because you're right. There is a therapist that's there. There is one that will put them person on the meds that they might not have took, realizing that also this is an at-will state. No one makes you do anything. You must take your meds on your own unless your parent or your husband or wife submits you and diagnose you as insane.
Yeah.
See, so we have to know the state laws, like you're saying, to be real about it, that there's no holistic treatment. Why are we having programs that if an individual is having a psychotic episode and situation, we got a place, don't look like a hospital, look like a resort. And there's someone that's going to talk about you, about your past, because you might be visiting and reliving something that you ought not be because of trauma.
Right.
Then also putting you in a place that you can naturally heal, not with a whole bunch of pills that are produced pharmaceutically, but something that is naturally produced from your body because you're a natural creature.
That's right.
See, so that's what we're talking about. And then talking about the spiritual man. Right there.
Okay.
Talk about him right there. Now, if you don't want to deal with it, okay. But if you saying I need some Jesus, someone can offer you Jesus. But whoever you want to call your God. But there we go. We got to deal with the whole man. And that's where I wanted to go with on that boy when he went there. Perfect. Because like you saying, there is no real solution. It's not. This is a revolving door of these situations that keep occurring.
But it was more like he swept that. It was a swept under the rug.
No, it
type
wasn't
portion.
a sweep under the rug.
When I said it was a disrespect for sure, but it was almost like, so they get it when they're there, but so what, they don't get it when they come out. That's what I took from it.
That's what I got from it.
You know.
And again,
like it's not supposed to be mentioned or something.
Are you kidding me? You mean to tell me, oh, I'm fine once I walk out these doors. I'm going to go home and be a model citizen. No. What? Jail? We talking about jail reform for a reason. You got innocent men and women who've been in jail, seeing all kind of unnormal stuff.
Yeah.
You mean to tell me? I've been in jail 37 years for something I ain't do. When I get out of here, you're going to be
traumatized.
I don't have no resources.
None.
I'm confused.
Yeah,
and you be mentally messed up.
Absolutely. And we know in certain states they give you an envelope with a couple dollars in it, and you go on your merry way. And they with a suitcase and them clothes and keep going. And so what, like we're saying, we want to make sure when
that's where the good time bill come in.
There you go. There we go. When you come out, there's resources that are connected to the individual. Because if you don't have an address, ladies and gentlemen, you can't even be released. And we just saying as COVID, you might have had a grandma, you might have had an uncle, might have an auntie that you could have been released out to. They might have passed. Your name not on the deed. You don't have nothing. You don't know nowhere to go. And you will stay there till you find you somewhere. And everybody know we're in a housing and we're in a housing recession right now in the city of Detroit and in our communities. So right there just shows you what our inmates. So individuals.
Wait. You say housing? If people losing their houses, is that not a mental issue?
That's it right there. That's a heavy trauma.
That's a heavy trauma.
You done lost Big Mama house that had all content.
Look, all content. So I know what it does to the mental. I'm just being honest.
Come on.
Let me tell you something. I just in the middle of a campaign was put out of a house because the landlord sold the house and we didn't even know.
Right there.
Wow.
Right there.
And it's legal to do so.
Yes, and that should not be.
So-
and we're
Kind
working
of what I
on
went
that.
through when my father passed away.
Don't you-
Where I
Right
inherited
there.
a home,
The
and
audacity to
the
try
way it
to-
was just swept up under me, and it was due through the illegalities that got the home from
There
me.
we go.
Beautiful home.
And so we got to say this
Yeah.
here because we got like 5 minutes left.
Mhm.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, we know right now we're in the political fight of our lives.
Yes, we are.
So they are slashed and start snatching qualified candidates off the ballot. Me, as a candidate of Ralston M. Ogburn, yes, I have to say it. You've heard it here. If you tuned into us to this last 5 minutes, you heard it hot here and no one else. I am disqualified for the elections of 2022 elections. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they moved me off the ballot. Our team is fighting, though. It's not over, but I want to tell you, this is what the temperature is like. And there are other candidates. I'm not going to drop their name. We're going to talk about it later.
Yeah.
They have announced it. I'm not. You're going to look and you ain't going to be able to find me on that.
So
but that's what
really
you're talking
take the
about.
representation
They trying to
away.
get it in.
Trying?
But they trying to get it in. But this is what we're saying. Yes, but this is what we're saying. We're not laying down. We're not stopping.
We're definitely not laying
And we're coming out with new stuff. What are we talking about? Our babies,
down.
our education.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to focus, right? Because I did high school well.
Mm.
I did high school real well. And I know how to play chess. And I've trained chess
Okay.
masters.
Oh,
So all I've seen
Yeah,
now is strategic and strategized and coordinated moves being done at this moment in this time.
Mm.
But what you're not going to do is mess with my babies and my seniors.
that part.
And what I realized that my seniors have been neglected at this point, and a lot of money been funded, and they have not received a dollar. And right now, if you come and take all our educational institutions, that's all out indictment on our children
Yes, it
and our
is.
future.
Yes, it is.
So we say right now, we transition over. We know Andreas Otis is seeking to be the next Wayne County Commissioner in our District 5. But what we have to understand as we listen to the conversations this today, the county is over multiple things. But when one asked a question about reparations, I just want to say this and I pass it over. We're still asking to be restored
Right.
for the $600 million of the overtaxation
in Wayne County.
right? And then also when we just pass it over, when we say Wayne County has the ability to restore
it,
its
as
residents.
it was stated tonight.
Okay,
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching the Quarantine Live. You know what we do. Hey, man, look, I told y'all I was going to be hot here tonight.
literally, we have been.
told you.
I left my fan.
Oh my God! I thought I felt some air a couple of seconds, but it must have stopped.
All right, Henrietta,
Yeah.
you got final words.
Yeah, hurry up. Because got to close in 30, 31. Go.
Get out and vote. Your life depends on it.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Quarantine Live with Mr. Andre D.A. Otis, the one Armando Otis. I got to keep
The
saying
next
it.
Wayne County Commissioner.
Your next Wayne County Commissioner, District 5. Ladies and gentlemen, see you next week. We're going to be here, same time, same place. I hate that my sister's no longer on this ballot, but we're going to get her back on there because qualified people need to be in Lansing today, tomorrow, next year, and for the future.
That's
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen, this is the Quarantine. We out.
We out.
We out.